Hello friend, you're welcome back to the class, and in this tutorial we'll be talking about a wonderful topic. Let's go on to the class immediately. Okay, we'll be talking about hygiene. Hygiene. Like humans, birds are susceptible to many diseases and parasites. Some of these, like the coccidiosis and worms, can be prevented, while others are natural facts of life that comes to them. Unless these diseases are identified and prevented or controlled, they can cause huge losses of birds in a farm within an interval. So this actually means you have to identify them. You have to notice these stuffs, their symptoms. You have to notice the symptoms of the birds of these diseases and be able to control them. So when you control them, you'll be able to get huge amount of survival rates. You get huge amount of survival rates. But whereby you neglect and uh, and you actually do not put more attention to them. If you don't give them more attention, you won't be able to identify these diseases by symptoms. So you actually get huge loss. It is better to prevent than to cure. Like an adage says, prevention is cheaper than cure. So to prevent has to do with keeping the diseases or parasites away from infecting the birds and to apply solutions immediately. Immediately you notice any usual symptoms without delay. So it means you have to apply solutions immediately you notice any usual symptoms without delay. So by acting quick, the solution offered will suppress the disease or infection from getting worse. If it had already infected the birds, or better still, will keep it at a level that it will not cause harm. So the solution offered will suppress the diseases or infection from getting worse. That's if the disease has already infected the birds, or it will also keep them at a level whereby you can manage them until you harvest. It will not cause any harm. So that means when your birds are sick, don't panic. You don't need to panic. Just calm down and render solutions. It will keep the diseases or the infections to keep them at a level whereby they will not die, or even when they are dying, they won't die much as supposed. You'll just be dying one, two, you'll be just saying one, two until you harvest the birds. Other management processes as follows. One, maintain supplies of clean and fresh water. You know, as a human, you need fresh and clean water for you to sustain. So make sure you also do so to your birds. Two, do not serve them feed that has been stored for a long period, like 4 to 6 months in a store. No, don't do that. Don't do that. They will actually drop massively. Give them fresh feeds. Fresh feeds. Do not three. Do not give them moist feed or feeds exposed to other animals. Do not give them moist feed, as in feed that has been feed that has been wetted with water, do not give them. Or feed that has been exposed to other animals. That is the reason you build your farm, make closings, and avoid the entry of mice or rats, so that they don't spoil your feeds, so that they don't perch on the feeds. So, but actually, if you have mouse or rats in your farm, they actually do not cause much harm. But when the birds are at day-old chicks, they will actually be biting the chicks, and they may cause harm at that level. So 4, ensure free air circulation or ventilation from 3 weeks old. If you started with brooding, that's if you started brooding, ensure free air circulation from 3 weeks old. If you started with brooding, that means when they are in the brooding house, they don't require ventilation, they require heat. So after 2-3 weeks, you have to spread them out where they will have good circulation. 5, prevent overcrowding in the pen by applying appropriate space guidelines. Appropriate space guidelines. So what is needed? What is needed? What amount of space is needed for birds? 1 square meter by 1 square meter, you keep how many birds? 15 birds. So let's make our calculation and see. 1 square meter by 1 square meter, you stock 15 birds. So let's make our calculations. So here is our calculator. Let's assume we have 10 square meter. 10 square meter at maybe we say the length like this. The length like this is 10 square meter, and you add it with maybe the width is 5 square meter. So meaning what you're having is 15 square meters. Okay, so you have 15 square meters. So that means 15 square meters, each meter will carry 15 beds. Each square meter carries 15 beds. So 15 beds multiplied by 15 square meters. So that means 15 times 15 is how many? 225. So that means in a 15 square meter space, you have to put 225 beds only. So let's take another example. Let's take another example. Let's say you have the length to be 30 square meter by plus 20 square meter. You have 50, that's 50 square meters altogether, and you say 15 beds multiplied by 50 square meters. So what you have is 15 times 50, or 50 times 15, right? So what do we have here? We have 750 beds in a 50 square meter space. So here you have 15 square meter. So 15 square meter by 15 beds, you get 225 beds in such space. And this one, 50 square meter, in a 50 square meter space, you are gonna put 750 beds. So meaning you're having 30 square meter in length and 20 square meter in width. So you add it up together, get the total number, and you know the total, and you multiply by the total number of beds that is supposed to be in 1 square meter. So you get the total number. So that is it for this class, and I hope you understand this because this is very much important. This is very much important in your poultry farming. So thank you very much. As we see in the next video. Bye.